Williamsville Sports Weekly is brought to you by your local country financial representative, Ed Legner. Please contact Ed for all your insurance and financial planning needs. His office is located at 318 Crossing Drive in Sherman, and he can be reached at 217-496-2341. But for now, enjoy the show. Welcome to Williamsville Sports Weekly, an in-depth look at both BB and Bullet athletics, hosted by our athletic director Adam Euchre and former Lady Bullets basketball coach John Hampton.
Welcome to episode 94 of Williamsville Sports Weekly, presented by Ed Legner, country insurance financial representative out of Sherman, Illinois. You can visit Ed for all your insurance and financial needs. Obviously, this week has not gone as we would have liked it to in terms of the rain and the cancellations that we've had, and it kind of lurked its way into the podcast this week as John and I recorded our intro parts yesterday, and I went to edit it. And lo and behold, part of it didn't record. And that's the way technology goes sometimes. So I'm sitting here at 5:30 in the morning on Friday the 31st of March, re-recording this. And that's what happens sometimes when it comes to technology. Technology is great when it works, and it's kind of a drag when it doesn't. But I had a choice to, go one of two ways with this. Not re-record this and not put it up, or re-record it and get this back up. And when things don't go your way, you got to figure out a way to make a positive out of a negative, and that's what I did with this situation. So John and I had a good conversation. Unfortunately, you won't hear it because part of it didn't record, but that's the way it goes sometimes. And over the past 94 episodes, this is the first time this has happened. So I guess, when you look on the bright side of things, that's always a positive. Want to get you to the interview here very quickly so you can enjoy it. WHS alum Kelsey Hickman making her second return to the Springfield area tomorrow night, Saturday, April 1st at Boondocks. And we decided to sit down with her and see what Kelsey's been up to and see what her journey's been like. Just like athletes that we've talked to, her journey is very similar in terms of struggles she's had, adversity she's had to overcome, and there's a lot of great lessons that you'll hear in this interview. So we're very excited about it. We hope that you come out to Kelsey's show on Saturday night. Before you go out to Kelsey's show, though, hopefully you're coming out to Boondocks tonight as our Sports Boosters present Cool to Dual Pianos. Dueling piano show starting at 7:30. It's $10 to get in if you want to come for dinner at 6 o'clock. It's $20, and the great thing with that, all that money is going to come right back to our kids in the athletic department. Hear me give the boosters some props in the closing segment after Kelsey's interview, but they do unbelievable things. We've really enjoyed their support over the last 4 years, and as the state goes with education funding, that affects athletics as well. We're going to continue to need their support. So hopefully you can come out to this great event and be there tonight to enjoy some good music and, company and conversation with the great people around the Williamsville and Sherman communities. If you don't have your tickets yet, you can buy them boondockspub.com. There's a little bit of a convenience charge in there, or you can still get them at the door tonight. Once again, 6 o'clock for dinner. Show starts at 7:30. So really excited about this event and to go have some fun this evening. As always, you can follow us on Twitter at WCSD15Sports for all your news and score updates on both BB and Bullet athletics throughout the 16-17 school year. You can connect with us on Facebook as well, facebook.com/WHS Bullets, not only connecting with the athletic department, but Williamsville High School as well, and all the great things that our kids do to help us continue our tradition of excellence that's been established for many years. If you're also listening to this podcast, obviously you can subscribe to it on iTunes, Williamsville Sports Weekly. Just search for us, rate, review us, subscribe so it comes to your podcast feed every week. If you're not on iTunes, you can get this via our website, WCSD15.org. Just click on the Athletics tab at the top of the page. This episode, as well as all the past episodes, all past 93 episodes, are on the left-hand side of the page. It's up on YouTube as well. Just search for Williamsville Sports Weekly. Our YouTube page will come up. Some of our podcasts are up there, as well as some other great videos that the kids and I have done to promote Williamsville athletics. So, number of ways to connect with us, and hopefully you do so in one of two ways. And as always, we're brought to you by Ed Legner, Country Insurance Financial Representative out of Sherman, Illinois. You can visit Ed for all your insurance and financial needs. When we return, we'll be joined by WHS alum and national recording artist Kelsey Hickman.
Next time you're in the market for insurance or financial planning, stop by and see Country Financial Representative Ed Legner at 318 Crossing Drive in Sherman, or give him a call at 217-496-2341. And now, back to the show.
Stared into my soul and it stared back at me, daring me to discover all there is to see.
Welcome back to Williamsville Sports Weekly, presented by Ed Legner, Country Insurance Financial Representative out of Sherman, Illinois. You can visit Ed for all your insurance and financial needs. Sitting with us on the phone right now in northern Mississippi on a little bit of a tour before she comes back to Springfield this Saturday, April 1st, for her second show at Boondocks. Williamsville graduate Kelsey Hickman. Kelsey, I know you have a busy schedule, and obviously where you're at in your career right now, one of the things you probably have to do is you have to actually probably set up some of your equipment and actually do the load in and load out, so it's not maybe as glamorous as everybody thinks it is.
You know what? When you love it like I do, it really doesn't matter. Sometimes you have long nights and early mornings, but that's what it takes right now. Whenever you're starting out, you gotta put a lot of work in, and if you put a lot of work in, you'll be able to get to where you want to be eventually.
So you're in northern Mississippi tonight, which is, as we're recording this is Wednesday night, the 29th of March. Where are you heading after here before you come up to Springfield on Saturday?
We're doing a couple shows here at Casino in Tunica, and then we're going to be heading up to St. Louis. We're going to be doing a show at the Wine Cellar, and we're going to do just a little outdoor event there, and then we're going to be heading up to Boondocks on Saturday, my second show there. So I'm really, really excited to be coming back to my hometown. Now,
when you come back, is it kind of surreal to come back? Having been down in Nashville for a few years, what's it like when you come back? Obviously, Williamsville and Sherman's, a pretty small community. Is it strange for you to come back? Are you just kind of a normal person, or is it different for you?
It's honestly, it's one of the best feelings because I always come back and everybody welcomes me back with open arms, and the people here, I just know that they like me for me, and they're so supportive, and I feel so at home, and I don't feel judged. I don't feel nervous, no kind of like jitters or anything, just because I know these people here are my friends and family that have been with me from day one, and they get just as rowdy and just as excited as any other show that I'm at in Nashville, or sometimes even more, because they just support me that much. It's amazing.
Now, you talked about this being your second show at Boondocks. You did one this past summer when it was your CD, your album release party. What is this just kind of like, just another tour to kind of get you out in front of your fans? What's this tour doing?
Yeah, I'm just trying to, get on the road more and get my name out there. Just build a little bit more following. Just letting everybody hear Kelsey Hickman and the music I have to offer. And I always like to stop by Boondocks because, like I said, it's a great venue also. Carol and Pat always take very good care of us. And, I always like to stop by there for sure. But, yeah, I'm going to be on the road a lot more, just booking wherever anybody wants to book me pretty much.
Now, when you're not on the road, kind of your home station down in Nashville, you've been singing at the world-famous Tootsie's Lounge, which for those people that don't know, backs up to the Ryman Auditorium, which there's a lot of history there in terms of, the Grand Ole Opry and just, great law of country music. What's it been like singing there? And I've been in there a few times, and I was fortunate enough to see you about a year ago perform there. But you're performing on a stage where, a lot of legends have performed. What is that like for you?
It's unreal. Like, the walls on the main floor, how long they've been there, and the people that have been in there that have influenced me. You know, Willie Nelson, Patsy Cline, Chris Christopherson, they've all been on that stage. They've all sat at that bar and wrote songs, and it's just it's a great feeling whenever I walk in there and think, you know what, like, if I'm surrounded by this, like, it's an inspiration, to be honest. And the crowds there are just great. I've met a lot of great people. I've made so many new fans. My fans have just grown in the past couple of years just from playing there. And I've had people come back to see me. You know, I have people come back, you know, every 6 months to come see me. I get messages all the time, hey, we're in Nashville, where are you playing? And it's just cool, you know, because they know that whenever I'm out on the road, they know where I'm at. So they can just stop by, say hi, you know, grab a drink, listen to some music, and then be on their way. It's really a neat experience.
Now, is that the main place you sing at in Nashville, or are you able to kind of go to different places? Because people who have been down there, obviously Broadway's the main area. You know, there's Painter's Alley, and there's a lot of great places. But Broadway's kind of where it's at when people come to town. Or is Tootsie's your main spot, or are you able to go to other places?
Yeah, Tootsie's is one of the main spots. I also play at Honky Tonk Central, and I play at Rippy's Barbecue. Those are the places I play at on Broadway. But whenever I'm not playing there, I also do writers' rounds, anything that I can do. Those are mainly in, like, the Midtown area, and that's just a way to be able to get your originals out and go to, like, a listening room where people are actually listening to your originals and you as an artist. So that's really cool as well.
Now, talk about writers' round a little bit. You know, Tyler, who's our head cross-country coach here, you've been dating him for a while. He's talked to me about that a little bit, and you've had some cool experiences with that, with being able to sing with some interesting individuals and getting some people to hear some of your songs with that writers' round. Talk to us about what that is.
Yeah, so in Nashville, there's these things they call them listening rooms, and basically you go there, obviously, to listen. You sit there and you listen to the artist. And, you know, you explain how you wrote this song and why you wrote this song and who you wrote it with. And a lot of big names, you know, they come to these rounds either shopping for songs or looking for potential new artists, which is really neat. And a lot of the times I get to partner up with my producer, Kent Wells. He's Dolly Parton's guitar player and producer. And he comes in and he plays guitar for me and sings harmonies, which is really neat because whenever I partner with him, people are like, oh, wow, look, she's playing with Kent Wells, you know, and he's been such a great person in my life, and he's really helped me and guided me throughout this whole process. So, but yeah, the writers' rounds, they're great. I get to be an artist there. I mean, I am an artist at Tootsie's, but whenever I get to play my own songs and really show my true colors is when I'm at those writers' rounds.
And there's a real famous story about Garth Brooks, I know. I think it was at the Bluebird Cafe. And I don't think the Bluebird's open anymore, but that's kind of where he got his start with singing his song, The Dance. So it's a real similar experience to kind of what you're doing.
Yep, exactly. The Bluebird's probably the most popular listening room in Nashville. But yeah, a lot of the great hit songwriters, they all go there and play it. That's one of my dreams. I'm gonna be playing at the Bluebird here soon, hopefully. That's my next goal.
Now, when you're at Tootsie's and you're at Honky Tonk Central and you're at some of these other places, you're not getting to sing your own stuff. So when you go out on tour, how much more exciting is that for you that you're, you know, putting your own stuff out there? You know, you put blood, sweat, and tears into this, and you put a lot of hard work into your own music. How much more special is that?
Oh, it's amazing because it's so cool because I get to build my own set list and revolve it around my music. So I'm able to, you know, I can do 3 of my songs and then, you know, Friends in Low Places, and then I can do a couple more of my songs, and I can do some Journey, and it's cool to be able to build your own set and, like, just build the vibe of the room yourself because they're there for you. You know, you're headlining or you're opening for someone, they're there for you. So that's really neat, is just to be able to build your own show, which I kind of do that at Tootsie's as well, but at the same time, like, I'm there to take their requests. I'm there to make them happy and make sure they're listening to the right music. But for me, with my stuff, I'm there to put myself and my music out there. So that's the cool part, is I really get to, like you said, put my blood, sweat, and tears right on that stage right at that time.
Now, do you have any new stuff that you're going to be debuting this, during this tour or this weekend up here at Boondocks?
I do. Yes, I do. I have some exciting things coming up. I'm gonna be hopefully doing some things with NASCAR, partnering up with NASCAR. I have a song that I'm gonna be debuting. It's really cool. I'm not gonna say much about it, but it's cool. It's a rockin' song, and I hope everybody likes it.
Now, one thing you had just mentioned earlier is the walls at Tootsie's and all the great artists that have been there before you, and I know occasionally you'll have people come in that are in town for different concerts and stuff. Have you been fortunate enough to be able to sing with any big name people on that stage there?
Yes. Let's see who. Okay, so Cole Swindell's come in there, Kid Rock, Tyler Farr. Let's see, a lot of people, they come in there because they know it's legendary, and they like the feel. Like Tootsie, whenever the woman that had owned the place originally, Tootsie, that was her vibe. She wanted everybody to feel comfortable. So I feel like whenever these big names come in there, they just feel comfortable. They feel like they're at home. But let's see, who else? Terry Clark's been in there a couple times. Let's see. See, I do the day shift a lot, so whenever I get the opportunity to do, like, the late shift, that's whenever they come in because they just want to kick back and relax. But they're always the nicest people. They take care of the band. They put a show on for the audience, and people just eat it up. It's really cool to be able to, like, just do that every once in a while,
Now, obviously, with you being here from Central Illinois, you say it's just awesome when you can come back home. But, specifically talking about Williamsville and your time here at WHS, what was the experience like here and the education that you were able to receive? How did that prepare you for what you're doing now?
I mean, it was great. I loved growing up in the small town, and I think our school only had like 400 or 500 kids in it, and I liked it. Everything was really close knit, and you realize like who true people were. Because whenever you leave that little town and you go out in the big city and stuff, you kind of got to get a little thicker skin. And then I realized that, the first year I was down there, I was like, all right, I'm not in Williamsville or Sherman anymore. So I had to realize that. But, the people there, that's what I like, though. That's the thing, is I like coming home and feeling safe, I guess. And that's kind of what I developed there at Williamsville. The education was great. The staff was great. I always loved all my teachers. I mean, I don't think there was one. I mean, obviously, I just don't think there was one teacher that I really didn't like. And they were great and supportive. And especially, I started being in the band, in the Still Kickin' band, whenever I was like 16. And, the teachers were so supportive. They always asked me about it. How's it going? How are you doing? And it was cool. It was really cool. They were always really supportive. And I did a lot of the musical theater at Williamsville. I always loved that. That's how I started out. Funny story, though. I remember I played basketball in junior high. And, my dad and my mom, they were like, all right, are you going to play basketball in high school? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. So freshman year, I'm there, and I'm with Coach Urish. And it was like the third or fourth practice. And I actually had an opportunity to go be in a show at Sangamon Auditorium. And I had to pick between that show or being in basketball. And I pulled Coach Urish aside, and I was just really upset. And I was like, look, I want to play basketball, but I have this opportunity to do this. And he was like, Kelsey, go follow your dreams. He's like, go be in that show. And I'll always remember that. I'll always remember quitting basketball and going to be in that show at Sangamon Auditorium. So I've had a lot of good memories at Williamsville, that's for sure.
And obviously it's worked out, to where you're at today. But when you were in that first band, you were able to play some shows at the State Fair and open it up for some pretty big artists during that time. Talk to us about those memories a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely always say that I'm very blessed because at about 18, I had a pretty good resume. And, I mean, at 21, I moved to Nashville by myself. So I feel like being able to open for those artists and being able to share the big stage and learn that process and playing for the big crowds that I did definitely prepared me at a young age to be able to do that, at 20, 21 in Nashville, Tennessee with all that competition. I see a lot of people coming to Nashville and they've never at 20 or 21 and they never played for a big crowd or knew 100 cover songs or things like that. So I was very, very fortunate to be able to learn at such a young age and be able to open up and develop my craft at such a young age, because it really helped me just kind of take off earlier than most in Nashville. So I'm very, very blessed to be able to do that. I opened for Lady Antebellum at 17 at the Sangamon County Fair. My first, I call it an arena show, I guess, was for Chris Young. And that was the moment when I was like, okay, this is it. This is what I have to do for the rest of my life. So after that show, I actually was like, Mom, we have to move me to Nashville. And she was like, okay, baby, let's move you to Nashville. So
now thinking back to when you first moved down there at 21 years old, I mean, you probably had to have a fear or a hesitation, thinking, man, most people don't make it, and to be obviously you still have bigger goals and bigger aspirations, but you've made it to a certain extent, and how gratifying is that to know that you're a very small percentage of people that start out on this journey to be where you're at right now.
Yeah, I mean, I always tell myself, you go down, okay, so you go down to Nashville, and the competition is everybody's great. Everybody. You walk into a bar, and there's going to be someone there that is just amazing. But I always tell myself, and I tell a lot of people this that come there, I say, if you think that they're better than you or they're this, they're that, it's going to eat you alive. You can't let that competition get to you. You have to remember that every single person has something different to offer. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is. Every single person has something different to offer. So you have to keep that in mind, that you are special in some way than another person, and they are more special in some way than you are. But you guys don't have the same. You have to focus on the goal and stay driven, or else it'll eat you alive. So I mean, that's what I always tell a lot of people when they're down there. And I mean, I still have a lot of work to do. I haven't made it in my eyes. I still have a long road ahead of me, and I'm just going to keep going. You just got to be persistent, and like I said, just focus on the goal. Stay driven.
It's awesome to hear you talk about that process, and obviously, if you follow that process, you'll get results. And you're making us proud up here in Central Illinois.
Oh, thank you.
But before we let you go, one last thing that I want to ask you: what advice besides just staying driven do you have to kids here today that may want to follow your path? What's the one piece of advice that you think you could give them that would allow them to keep going?
Let's see. I would just say, stay positive and just love yourself. Don't let other people bring you down. There's going to be people out there that are, that are rude and that are mean, and they just want to hurt you just because messed up, But you have to just stay focused and be positive, Love yourself. Know that you can do this. Be confident, because, you can't let those people tear you down, because there's going to be a lot of them out there. But if you let those people tear you down, think about how many people that wouldn't go so far if they let those people, out there tear you down. So you just got to stay positive, stay motivated, and just keep going. I always say, that Journey song, just don't stop believing,
And obviously, you could take that piece of advice into any aspect of your life or what you have planned. So that's a great piece of advice. Before I let you go, though, Kelsey, tell us one more time about the show coming up this Saturday at Boondocks.
All right, yeah. I'm going to be playing Saturday at Boondocks. Doors open at 7. I'm going to go on around 8:15, so y'all make sure you guys get there. I'm going to have some merchandise set up, and I'm going to be there a little bit early. Hopefully I can mingle with you guys and see how everyone's doing back in good old Springfield, all right? So I hope you guys come out, and it's going to be a great night.
Well,
bring your party pants.
Well, Kelsey, once again, thank you so much for coming on today. We truly appreciate it. And when we return, we'll take a look ahead at the upcoming week for both the BBs and the Bullets.
If you can't make it out to the game, you don't have to worry about missing a moment of the action by following all BB and Bullet athletic happenings on Twitter at WCUSD15Sports. And now back to the show.
This is you, Friday night, getting right, hanging with your boys.
Welcome back to Williamsville Sports Weekly, presented by Ed Legner, Country Insurance Financial Representative out of Sherman, Illinois. You can visit Ed for all your insurance and financial needs. Obviously, we don't always focus on the world of sports, but we like to talk to all different kinds of alumni, and that's why we were very fortunate to be able to talk to Kelsey Hickman there in support of her upcoming show this Saturday night at Boondocks over in Springfield. And, I think she had a great message, not only, if you're trying to pursue a dream or follow, your heart in the entertainment industry, but anything, and, to kind of stay true to yourself and fight for your passion. And if you, stick to that process and you believe in yourself and you work hard, good things will happen. And, there was no guarantee that she was going to make it when she went down to Nashville. And like she said, she still feels like she hasn't made it yet in her eyes, and she's continued to fight and persevere through the opportunities that she's been given. And that's a great lesson to hear, not only in the journey she's on, but, if you're a high school athlete or you're an adult or you're a college student or you're a parent, keep on that journey and keep that goal in mind. And sometimes you're the only one that's going to believe in you. As Coach Hampton and I talked about with my classmate from high school who had that dream of pro wrestling, not many people believed in him. Not many people believed in my buddy who's out in L.A. right now. Sometimes not many people believed in me besides, my wife and those that were close to me in terms of what I'm doing. Or even when we started this, Mr. Root believed in me to give me the opportunity to be the athletic director here at Williamsville High School and, to do ventures like this. So just a great interview. And like we said, her show is this Saturday at Boondocks. You can get tickets there at boondockspub.com. The other thing that I want to talk about before we get into the upcoming events for both the BBs and the Bullets, obviously the Booster Club is presenting their event, the Cool to Duel Dueling Pianos event tomorrow night, Friday, the 31st of March at Boondocks. Dinner's at 6 o'clock, shows at 7:30. Tickets for show and dinner are $20. You can purchase them at the door, boondockspub.com. $10 if you just want the show. There'll be a DJ afterwards. But as I've said in the past, the Booster Club is vital to the success of our athletic program here at Williamsville High School. And I was totaling some things up after they just approved the purchase of new hurdles for our track programs. They've given back over $73,000 this year, which is absolutely amazing. And, in the months and the years to come, we're going to need their support even more because of the financial state that the state of Illinois is in and the lack of funding that they're giving to public schools and public entities as a whole. And so their support and their help with the athletic department is huge to our success. We like to say it's better to be a Bullet, and we wouldn't be able to say that without the great donations, the immense donations they've been able to give to our athletic department over the last few years. And we can carry on the tradition of excellence that's been established because of their help. And I really hope that you come out and you support them. It's a great event that's going to take place at Boondocks, but also everything that they raise comes directly back to our kids in the athletic program, and I can't thank them enough for everything that they've done to make my job easier and be able to go and raise that amount of money. And want to thank the community as well for stepping up to the plate, whether it's volunteering or buying Bullet gear or coming to games. Every little bit helps. And I always like to quote the 1% rule, where if everyone gave just 1% more, not in terms of financial effort, but just, effort in general, things would be a lot easier. And
I say that at our parent-athlete meetings where I talk about that, and this organization will not continue to run without the support of volunteers and great people within the Williamsville and Sherman communities. So hopefully you can find a way to get involved in the Booster Club. The meetings are usually the first Wednesday of the month. The next meeting will be Wednesday, the 5th of April at the Village Hall in Sherman, 5:30. Come and be a participant and see how you can help this great organization continue to grow and continue to flourish in our communities and provide great athletic opportunities for our kids. We heard Kelsey talk about her being involved in the athletic program here and playing basketball under Coach Urish. So a lot of great life lessons are taught through athletics that you may not get in other places. I know I'm at the spot in my life because of high school athletics. So come out to the event. Like I said, tomorrow night, the 31st of March, 6 o'clock for dinner, 7:30 for show, $20 for dinner and the show, otherwise $10 just for the show. Hope to see you there. Obviously, today's been a washout. We do have some rescheduled games, though. As of right now, softball will go to Millikan University tomorrow and play Mount Zion, 4:30 start. And then the soccer game that was canceled will take place on April 8th, Saturday, April 8th, so next Saturday in Divernon, 10 o'clock start for the varsity, and then a noon start for JV. Tomorrow, as of right now, JV baseball will be traveling to Porta. We already talked about the varsity softball team going over to Millikan, and then baseball, 6:30 against Chatham with their great pitching staff over South Park in Glenwood, 6:30 start. Saturday, a lot of great opportunities. The softball girls varsities over at the Porta Slam, 9 o'clock against Normal Community, 10:30 against Illini West, and then 1:30 against Clinton High School. Baseball's we'll have 2 games tomorrow, 10 o'clock against Mount Zion over at Glenwood High School, and then 2 o'clock against Bloomington at Glenwood High School, and JV baseball's in action too over in Rochester. Auburn and Rochester starting at 10 o'clock. In terms of the junior high, obviously track season has begun for them. And in terms of this week, if my computer would load here, obviously the internet's been a little slow today because of the storms that have rolled through. But nothing this week. They'll be in action again next Monday in a home meet with Chester, East Lincoln, Greenview, Tri-City, Mount Pulaski, Illini Central, New Holland, and West Lincoln here at Don Williams Track before they host another meet on Wednesday with Rochester and Glenwood, and then go over to the Rochester Invite next Saturday at 9 a.m. So it's obviously spring season. Wouldn't be spring season without cancellations. So a lot of great things you can get out to this weekend. As we talked about, the event tomorrow night over at Boondocks, Cool the Dual Pianos, presented by the Williamsville Sports Booster, 6 o'clock start for that event in terms of doors opening for dinner. And then if you're going to stay for the show, then dinner and show is $20. If you're just going to the show, $10. That show will be starting at 7 o'clock, or not 7 o'clock, 7:30 at Boondocks. You can get tickets right now at boondockspub.com or purchase them at the door. Dinner will be provided by Hickory River Smokehouse. And then on Saturday, then, Williamsville graduate Kelsey Hickman, 7 o'clock, all ages show, $5 will get you in to see her. And hopefully you guys can come out and support 2 great Williamsville events this weekend. Until next week, though, remember, it's always better to be a bullet.